President Trump signing an executive order meant to keep TikTok running in the United States. Vice President J.D. Vance says the deal values TikTok's U.S. business at $14 billion. And under the terms, a new joint venture company will oversee TikTok in America, with China-based ByteDance retaining less than a 20% stake. But there's been no indication yet that the Chinese government has made the legal changes with the algo and all that necessary for a deal to go through. Joining us is our own Eamon Javers and Eunice Yoon in Beijing. I hope you guys disagree on exactly what's happening. We want to see like a Santelli-Leisman thing happen here. Is that any way that can happen, Eamon?
I don't think so. Based on what Eunice has been saying on conference calls, I think we have a similar view of where we are, but we'll see.
Okay, go ahead, Eamon.
Well, look, I mean, I would start with this. I mean, there's a couple mysteries that still remain here that we don't know the answers to. One is, who are all the investors in this deal on the U.S. side? We've gotten some names. David Faber reported out a couple of new names yesterday. So we do have a sense of who some of the big kahunas in this are, including, of course, Oracle, which is going to be the trusted security partner. But we don't know all the investors here, and that's a big mystery. And the second big mystery, I think, that people are going to focus on this morning is J.D. Vance giving us this $14 billion valuation for TikTok U.S. How did they come up with that number? I think is going to be interesting to see the math behind it if we ever get those documents, because there's some questions about what this entity is worth and how much these investors are going to be paying to get that value. It's a huge company with a huge media footprint in the United States, and it will have not quite a monopoly on short-form video online in the U.S., but, the most valuable property in terms of social media, perhaps, in the United States. And to come in at only $14 billion, you wonder if these shareholders, who are personal friends and political allies of the president, are getting, an incredible, incredible deal
here. And Eunice, were you surprised at President Xi sort of abandoning a long-held position on that algo, and then we tied some of the NVIDIA threats and the monopoly threats, we tied that to trying to appease people in China that, okay, I may be doing this, giving in on TikTok, but but I'm going to be tough on NVIDIA. Is that true? And we don't even trust that she's ready to give up the algo. Is that a fact?
Well, I think to answer your question, I wasn't surprised that TikTok would be put on the table, because from a strategic standpoint, TikTok, ByteDance, they're not really that important as companies to China's economy and to President Xi's overall national ambition to become a big technology leader and leader in the world. But in terms of the mysteries that Eamon was bringing up, another one, of course, is still that we don't have any confirmation from Beijing that they're okay with letting go of this algo. President Xi, and in the official Chinese summary, President Xi did not, at least they say, did not reference President Xi approving of this deal going through. And then I just wanted to read you the Foreign Ministry statement today, because it repeats the same points that the Chinese government have been saying, that the Chinese government respects the will of enterprises and is happy to see enterprises doing business negotiations on the basis of market rules and reaching a solution that meets China's laws and regulations and balances interests. We hope that the United States will provide an open, fair, and non-discriminatory business environment for Chinese enterprises to invest in the United States. So again, not being direct, instead using very vague language.
Eamon, what do you go ahead. What do you know, Eamon? Yeah, what do you know about whether is it as it appears, or because I think it's too good to be true sometimes, and I never trust China really on anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fair dose of skepticism, Joe, to look at this and say, I mean, the president has said several times that Xi Jinping has approved this deal, but we've seen nothing forthcoming from the Chinese side that that's actually the case. And yesterday, I think a lot of folks saw that the White House was saying, we're going to have a signing on TikTok. A lot of folks thought that was going to be, signing the deal, right? But in the room yesterday, there was no buyer, there were no representatives of the U.S. investors, and there was no seller, right? So there was nobody from ByteDance or from China to say, yes, we're actually selling this thing. So if you don't have a buyer and a seller, you don't have a deal.
Right, and the executive order getting rid of the congressional bill and then law that was signed in by the former president, you would think gives some leverage, I would think, Eunice, to China. Just the idea that, okay, we've already undone the law. We don't seem to have all the details kind of in order yet.
Yeah, I mean, everything is, it's not very clear at all. I think in terms of next steps, from a technical perspective, the Commerce Ministry has already said that they are conducting technical reviews. And then after that, not after that, but their technical reviews are in line with their revised regulations for export control. So these were changed in 2020 to include two technologies that many people believed were related to TikTok. Immediately after they did that, Xinhua News Agency had said that because of this change in the rule, that TikTok, if it was going to do anything with the U.S., would have to obtain a license. So now, because it was categorized as an item that is restricted but not prohibited, people here expect that the Commerce Ministry is going to go through all these rigmaroles and then eventually, in theory, would issue some sort of license. But again, we don't know, because at the end of the day, China could just be using this as a way to lord over the Trump administration in broader negotiations.